The cost of financial fines globally post-crisis is estimated to be in the region of $321 billion. And anyone who knows about financial services enforcement will know that the cost of the fine is dwarfed by the cost of remediation, reputational damage, drop in share price, etc. That's just the very beginning of the problem. The firms say, well, the rules keep changing. We can't keep up. How do you expect us not to make mistakes? Of course, we're going to continue to be fined. Actually, that's not true. The rules do keep changing, but this isn't the reason why firms keep making mistakes. We see that firms are fined for the same misconduct in 2017 as they were in 2007. The industry is not evolving, is not learning from the lessons of the past, and isn't improving conduct and culture rapidly enough. On the other hand, the regulators globally say, what's the problem? The enforcement notices we issue are perfectly clear. We make our expectations on the industry apparent. Why don't you read them and learn from them? Now, anybody who knows, as I do, in detail what an enforcement notice is like, will know that they can be very nuanced, very complicated, 30, 40, 50 pages or more of impenetrable legal ease. Everyone wants this to stop. So meet Enforced EDB, the enforcement database. I'm a regulatory lawyer by background. I used to work in the enforcement division of the FCA, so this is a very personal endeavour for me. I'm solving a problem with my co-founders that I've grappled with, working in compliance at JP Morgan and BP and in law firms. So what is EDB? It has the capacity to become an industry utility. We'd like it to see it on everybody's desktop, everybody who works in a regulated financial services firm and all of their service providers, journalists, and ultimately the public at large who want to know how their service providers are doing. It's the independent global regulatory enforcement service. We have unique enforcement analysis, insight, and trends. We have enforcement data, news, and content partners. So all of these great law firms who I targeted because they are, to a man, in the top tier of the league tables of firms who are recognised for being excellent in contentious regulatory activity. I went to them because I don't want to hire a load of lawyers, what a pain that would be, and said, give us your insight. They all agreed, so they give us quite a lot of the content that we need for nothing. We add value by taxonomizing it, by the analysis that we do of the underlying data, and more besides. But I think it's a real testament to the strength of our idea that before we barely even had a site, I went to these people and they all said yes. And actually, we've got more people asking us now. We're turning them away because you can only have so many lawyers in your life and then you really want to move on. It's a RegTech SaaS solution based on agile and scalable technology. We're ready to scale. At the moment, we've got the UK, Ireland, Dubai in the database. We're bringing online Singapore and Hong Kong, and thereafter we're doing the United States. It's an absolute dog's breakfast in the USA, the regulatory environment. It's a nightmare. There's at least 6 federal regulators. You've got the OCC, the CFTC, the New York Department of Financial Services, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, FINMA, all of those guys. Then you have 50 state regulators. It's an absolute nightmare. If you're a global regulated entity, finding out who's doing what and which way is up is all but impossible. Not anymore, not with enforced EDB. It's a SaaS solution, but actually everything's available via API as well. And where it's going to get really exciting and fun is when we plug in to our clients' internal risk models and we provide them with a new independent source of market data that's very, very high quality that they can use to more accurately price risk, identify their real risk exposures, and ultimately predict risk. EDB is just the start. We want to create a global taxonomy around culture and conduct risk, these very difficult, intangible concepts that regulators are obsessing about, and with good reason, because they've recognised that focusing down on rules isn't enough in and of itself to change behaviour. So we are creating this taxonomy around things like, you failed to train your staff, we can put a number next to that, categorise it, enable you to do cross-comparators, looking at your client type, the environment in which you're operating, your regulatory permissions, and all the rest of it. It's absolutely fantastic. We want to create a place where people can come and share best practice, learn from the mistakes of their peers, move forward. Nobody wants the financial services industry to have another crisis. That would be a disaster. The first crisis was terrible. Actually, it wasn't terrible for me because I'm a financial services regulatory lawyer, so it was pretty great, actually. But, you know, if you're a bottom feeder like me and a horrible person who profits from other people's disadvantage, then crises actually are quite good. But no, joking aside, we don't want another financial crisis. It's dreadful for, you know, myriad reasons. And so the industry needs to improve, needs to get together to share best practice. So with Enforced EDB, we're not just a database that taxonomizes and provides really, really unique and clever insights into data. We want to create the network effect. We want to become a community. We want to become the go-to place for people to gather, talk, discuss, learn, move forward and improve financial services to the benefit of the general public and everybody in the world at large. Where we want to get to, and we've got a straw man, and we've got this on our roadmap pretty soon, is to a situation where we're able to mine big lakes of quite carefully curated, high-quality data to identify not just where problems have occurred in the past, which is what you see with enforcement notices, which evidence the crystallization of a risk, but to show, in fact, based on this lake of data, where problems are going to occur in the future, so you can prevent them from happening, so you can target your budget where it needs to go, so you don't need to recruit hundreds and hundreds of compliance officers. You use clever technology that's looking at material that's already out there, but organising it in an intelligent way so that you can surface conclusions that you can rely on, run your business more effectively, increase margin, treat your customers more fairly. We've got loads of use cases. So we spent ages on this, and then at the end I just put, you know what, just put all staff, just give it to everybody. We'd like it to become, you know, as I've said, an industry utility. Everything on it is available via API, so people can use it in a number of different ways. We'd like it to become the go-to standard, as well recognised as brands like Facebook, LinkedIn, but for financial services practitioners, for the industry, so it's very high quality and very, very well curated, and so that it makes sense. It's about quality of data. The team, you've got me, my co-founder David Lawler has just come out of Thomson Reuters, where he spent 20 years building huge globally scaled products, dealing with MiFID II, Dodd-Frank, etc. You don't get much better than David in terms of knowing how to build a scalable product. And Wolf is our CTO, who again has got 25 years experience in the tech industry. He's a real digital native and started working on computers before they're even what we know now, recognise a computer to be. We had our first bit of early investment from Chris Condes, the former CEO of SunGard. We met him when we were in the Accenture FinTech Innovation Lab, and he seeded us with a bit of early investment. We're doing our first main seed round now, so if you're interested, connect with me on LinkedIn, I can tell you more about that. And then we've got Roz, who was in the FCA Enforcement Division. Actually, we worked together there for a number of years, and various other people. So the Bank of England published their report on us 2 days ago. It's a really, really great report. They've become our reference client. So I think it's fair to say that when you build something in your garden shed in your spare time, which is how we started this, over a period of about a year, and within the currency of your first 12 months, you've got 100 users at the Bank of England, I think you really know that you've hit on something. So that was very exciting for us. The bank have been absolutely fantastic and very supportive, and they continue to use our data, and they continue to support us and work with us as we bring in other jurisdictions, because of course the more we grow, the more we layer up, the more we're able to do cross-jurisdictional comparisons, the more powerful this becomes. We're working with loads of other people as well. So that's us, and we want to change financial services for good. Thank you.